Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. In the last part we went through, honestly, quite a bit of filler stages, and then we got to the White Mirror to know we have to come over here to Ryukyu in order to help find Princess Yuki. And let's see what this person has to say. A lot of masked Hanya carpenters have come here. They must be doing major renovations at the castle. That's interesting, but the Hanya carpenters are enemies we've been seeing for these past two screens, the guys with the masks that throw the hammers. And they suck. First off, they can throw the hammers in any direction they want. And once they throw the hammers, if they bounce, they're going wherever the hell they want from there on out. There's no way to predict it, and it makes gold grinding around here really annoying. Also, this Tanuki statue is out lying. There is nothing in this next room that can hurt us. Hurt us. That's a new one. Either way, we're in the castle. Let's go see that king and tell him to, ask him for help. I have no idea what you're saying. Apparently the king uses some sort of older dialect or something, but similar to the mountain pass a few stages back, we need to go get something at a store for about 980 gold in order to understand him. The store's to the left of us, but if you're not quite at the money amount yet, there is something you can do very easily in order to do it, but I recommend you have maxed out your sandals at this point in order to do this next thing. Because otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. Because the thing is, this stage has about 3 hidden passageways, but all in this room. First one's right here. This is only if you need the gold. I'm just getting because I like having the extra money. Plus, gold is one of the best weapons for one of the final parts of the game. So, it's just good to have some. You do need at least 3 to 4, sandals in order to get through most of this, so make sure you maxed out your supply. But this is pretty standard. Though I love the song that plays in these sections, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but this song is just catchy. Next up, we want to go to the one on the far right. There's one on the statue to the left of that one as well, but we want to go into that one last because that'll take us back into town for some reason. I'm at least glad they gave us these 3 extra ones in order to get the money we need in order to get stuff, because having to let us make us just grind normal gold for like possibly minutes at a time would have been really annoying. Also, I don't think I mentioned what happens when you get a time over and you just died. It's not an instant game over, you just lose a life and then the timer resets. Not that you should ever run out of time in this game. Also, you're going to be grabbing a lot of golden cats in this stage, so your life will be pretty high, all things considered. Same with the next stage. And with that, 1 secret passageway left to go. You know, part of me wishes that these things had a bit more visual flair to them, these little secret passageways, because when I find something awesome that has a lot of hidden treasure in it, I want it to look like I found something like that. Kind of like in Luigi's Mansion when you find those like 2 or 3 secret rooms, they're like covered wall to wall in gold and jewels. And it's glorious. Mind you, there aren't enough in the game to really warrant that, but... And mind you, that you wouldn't really see something like that in, like, Edo period Japan and shit, but it would have been cool nonetheless. And it's another golden lucky cat. And this one randomly takes us out of the back end into the town, so I'm gonna cut back to the castle area. Because just to the left of the door that takes us into the king's throne room, there is another shop where we can buy the thing we need. We need to buy the textbook. Though if I recall, I also buy armor here. Yeah, the best armor in the game's here, so might as well get the extra damage protection, right? Oh wow, the helmet didn't upgrade. I actually didn't notice that. I guess you can only have 1 piece of armor at a time. But it still took my money! That was a sound effect. Either way, now that we have the textbook, let's go talk to the king and see what he has to say now that we can, understand his tongue. Like the music here, by the way. Really nice and soothing tune. I'm King Ryukyu. This castle has been overrun by a band of thieves. I believe they are planning a wicked scheme. There is no time to waste. One of the statues surrounding the castle leads to an escape route. You must stop their awful plot at all costs. So, if you were able to decipher that correctly, the area where I was in those 3 secret passageways, there's a hidden 4th one that you cannot access until you hear the translated king. So, more or less, the king is just there to be an event trigger. Gotta love that kind of stuff, right? It's the 1 second from the left, but you actually have to hit this one 3 times, so they at least got a bit more smart about it. This is a very, this actually though is a very dangerous area. It's the last platforming section in the game, because the next one is more, well, it's not the last platforming section of the game, it's the second to last one overall, but it's the hardest because there's a lot coming at you and a lot of dharmas for some reason. But this area is honestly not the worst that I've ever seen in a platforming game, but I will tell you for a fact, if you're trying to keep your level 3 weapon and all your speed, this place can be kind of annoying, because getting hit through here without getting hit is a bit of a chore. But it has my favorite song in the game by far. I love this track. And then it's got this little room with this little gimmick. Stand on these things, they move. It's as simple as that. I get that they couldn't go full-out platforming gimmick with this, given the also combat thing going on in it and such, but a few more actual platforming gimmicks would have been nice. Hell, I would have digged an anti-gravity stage. That would have been interesting to see them at least attempt something like that. Either way, the main gimmick this part of the stage as well, aside from that, is the enemies that you can destroy, the goblins, more or less. You need to destroy that one on the right there in order to progress through, but I want to grab this golden lucky cat to have an obnoxious amount of life, oh my god. That is something about this game I do like, is that if you know where to get resources, it is very easy to get powerful. It's just the fact that getting touched once underpowers you so much that it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, hey, look, a semi-beat-em-up game with an elevator section. Who could have seen this coming? Oh, no. No, really, this section is pretty simple. As long as you take care of the dharmas before they can really touch you, it's not that big of an issue. It goes on a bit too long for its own good in my eyes, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And there's me getting hit. Great. Thankfully, I didn't take any damage, and I didn't even lose a sandal by the looks, because I had on the helmet, but I still lost 1 weapon level. Also, don't stop moving here, otherwise these guys will knock you off into a bottomless pit. In fact, that's something the stage likes to do a lot, things that can throw you into bottomless pits. Not a fan of that. And hey look, I'm finally using the bombs. Yeah, you do actually have 10 bombs from the start, but you can buy more of them. It's just the fact that you don't really need to. But really, once you're here, this stage is almost kind of over. Because a lot of the platforming stages in this game are, for the most part, short. We're actually at the boss right now. This boss is similar to one from Mega Man 5, who remember that Let's Play. More or less, the colored sections will charge at us, in which case we have to jump on them and then get up to his head. It takes 3 shots, and the head is destroyed. Then the next highest one becomes the new head, and you repeat. However, after the first one, you can do this little trick where if you stand it on the ground, you can actually just hit him with a yo-yo. Money is also a very easy way to hit him, but I prefer to use the yo-yo just because I'm a lot better at timing that. This fight can be annoying if you're not very good at timing, either getting underneath jumping over the red and getting underneath the purple, or on top of them in general. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Though, one thing I will warn you, get off the tower as soon as you can, because the next one will become a head and it will damage you. And he leaves. Oh, great. Well, if I know my platforming correctly, we're just gonna land harmlessly without destroying our knees, right? Booyah. Another great song, but welcome to my least favorite platforming section of the game. First off, we got a little section right out of Armored Armadillo stage. And you do have momentum like in Mega Man X, by the way. If you jump, you will jump at the same speed as this. Unless you touch one of these platforms, in which case you'll lose your momentum. Also, I love the background here. Reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong Country. This is the actual worst platforming section of the game, and it's very reminiscent to the one from last part. You have to stay on these platforms so they can keep on moving if you want to jump to the next section. Beneath us is no safety pit, it's only a bottomless pit, so death is everywhere. Get knocked off? Well, you're kind of dead. If you want to get on a platform easily, the best thing I can recommend is constantly jumping so that the platform actually stays still for a bit. But that section can be really annoying, and I was surprised I got it in one shot like that. And now we just have another very basic platforming section, honestly. Got more of the Dharma bubbles from the elevator section, but beyond that, it's pretty standard at this point. Though I do recommend waiting a bit so you can actually jump over the pits without getting knocked into them, like I have several times in the past. I love this song. I really do. If you don't feel like playing this game after you probably watched this, just look up the game's soundtrack, because it's great. Konami in the 90s could do no wrong in terms of soundtrack from my perspective, at least that I played. And hey, it's Princess Yuki, we finally found her! Oh, it's that last Dharma head. Yeah, we kind of left him around. This boss fight is strange. It's a balance fight. You need to hit him enough times and basically use physics against him so that he falls off the needle he's on. The chain balls hurt, but I've never killed him that fast before in my life. I don't know how I did that. Oh, Princess Yuki! Thank goodness! And we saved the day, guys. We did it. We saved the world. Oh, no! I am the great Hanya Shogun. Into the dungeon with you. You know, honestly, we should have seen this coming. And with that, we're on to the final chapter, or stage rather, Warlock Zone 9, final story. We're gonna find the 7 Chaos Emeralds and become Super Goemon. That doesn't actually happen, by the way. What? Why are you in such a place? The counterfeiters are working from inside this castle. I'll get you out of here as soon as I can. The real king is probably in a jail somewhere in this castle. And we never see her again. Bye, Yue Yai, how the hell you say your name. And all the jail cells in this area you can't enter. A lot of them are just NPCs talking about, oh, let me out. I'm repeating phrases over and over again, blah. But there are some that have shops in them in case you need them. And this stage has one of my least favorite enemies in the game as well. The normal shotgunners, the guys wearing the red hats. They suck because they have real range. Either way, the king is actually very easy to find because he's right here. I'm the ruler of this castle. The castle was overrun by the Hanyas. If they are allowed to continue, it'll be the end for all of us. There's a secret passage in the wall of the prison you were in. It will lead you out. Are you kidding me? I'm counting on you, King Ying. Yeah, we have to go back to our prison now. And like with the statue earlier in this part, you cannot destroy that wall until you talk to the king. So, that's kind of stupid. I don't get why, but event triggers are a thing, and I don't like them sometimes. I mean, in an old RPG, it makes sense, but in a good platforming game, you should be able to destroy that wall no matter what. Either way, it's right here. And with that, we're in the last platforming section in the game. And, honestly, it's pretty simple. For the most part, you're just facing off against the same enemies that you were in the normal area. You have to destroy these random red dots, but they're only here for like 3 seconds. I think they damage you if you walk into them, but don't quote me on that, though. From here on out, we're mostly facing off against the lantern throwers we've been seeing since stage 2 and a random shotgunner. The shotgunner is the one you really want to look out for because he fires bullets in a bit of a spread. Yeah, there he is right there. But hey, look, another golden lucky cat. They actually do give you a good amount of them in this area so you can actually get your health up. And oh my god, is that enough enemies on screen? Admittedly, if you don't have much money, this would be a good section to stock up so you can start throwing it as a weapon, but you don't really need it. And also, you actually cannot enter any of the buildings in this area. It's not a town section. It is a platformer. You cannot enter anything. Oh, that's right, we do see you again. This is terrible. The band of thieves is using the counterfeit money to buy equipment to turn the Ryukyu Castle into a flying castle. There's the flying castle. Princess Yuki must be on board. Well then, you have no reason to be in this level aside to tell us that random piece of exposition. How do you turn a castle into a flying castle in Edo period Japan anyway, even if it is in mythology? Mind you, I think there was some amount of flying castles in their mythology to begin with. Either way, we're actually coming up on a bit of a platforming section here that I don't like. The clouds here are a bit strange. The ones that stay stationary will destroy themselves once you land on them, so you have to jump to the next one as soon as you can. And you just have to time your way up and hopefully don't fall back down onto the bamboo spikes, which aren't instant kill, yeah, but they do a good amount of damage. And you need to destroy those 2 guards to get in here, and time for something random. A boss rush! They throw 2 of the previous bosses at us. Random the lantern guy from the second stage, and the Otafu face guy from last part that creeps me the hell out. Or was that 2 parts ago? I honestly forget at this point. Either way, I don't like him. The fights aren't even changed though. They don't have more HP, they don't move faster. There's nothing different. They're just here to be padding more or less. And you know, if I call it Bus Rush padding, that says something because I like Mega Man. Maybe if they did more damage it'd make more sense, but I don't think they even do that. Yeah, oh god, I still hate this guy though. Ah! Now, he actually managed to hit me there, but I'm actually not too upset about that because I don't use much of the yo-yo during the final boss anyway. Speaking of the final boss, here we are, and it's a random samurai guy on a... What the hell is that lion thing? First phase is pretty simple. He fires 3 arrows at you at a time, which are actually pretty hard to dodge if he gets too close. But you need to knock them into the lion cat thing's face. Not his legs, not the soldier, the face. That's the only way you can damage him in this phase. Also, if you attack the thing itself, it meows. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Having the pipe is actually a lot better for this fight because it's a lot easier to time it to hit the arrows than the yo-yo. So, honestly, I actually recommend you get hit during this fight so you can have one of the pipes. The golden pipe is my preferred way just so I can have a bit more range, but if you have the short pipe, you should still do fine. I'm surprised though, no actual final boss music. Make me sad, Konami. And with that, now we're on to the true final boss, this guy on his own, who likes to curl into a ball and... Okay then. This fight's actually really easy because there's something you can abuse to it. This guy never goes all the way to the left, so if you just stay on the very left, as left of the screen as you can, he'll never touch you. Final boss, ladies and gentlemen. Can't even touch me. Money is a good way to go about this fight because then you can just stay as far away from it as possible and do damage. And just because you can throw it pretty quickly. And with that, we're done. Oh, it was the Hannya Shogun. Why did you have a giant robot? Ha 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 ha! If you come any closer, the princess gets it! The great General Shogun has no rivals!
What? That's not what the deal was. You promised that Princess Yuki would be released. That's why I helped you. You're on your own now. Please wait, without your power, I'm nothing but a helpless old man.
Oh, don't come any closer. If you take one more step, the princess's history.
I told you not to come any closer.
Stop, I said. Ah, no. And we saved the princess, and the world is saved, I guess? But yeah, rather abruptly, that is actually the ending. It goes right into the credits from that. But that is Legend of the Mystical Ninja on the Super Nintendo. And how is it? It is fantastic. It's a charming little game, and I really like it. It is a bit difficult for its own good at points because it spikes quite noticeably. And I don't like that if you get hit, you'll lose some of your power. But that's not enough to let me detract this game as a good one. And plus, if you want to, you can also play it on multiplayer, which is pretty fun from what I've played of it. I've only done multiplayer in one of the brawler stages. I've actually never done one of the platforming stages. I can imagine that could be a nightmare depending on how they handle the camera. But I'd recommend it. Like I said before, it's on the Super Nintendo, and I think that was all it was released on. Let me check that up. But yeah, if you're wondering what the next LP is, well, I'm not going to say its name outright, but let's just say it's about time I got to it. By the looks, oh no, actually this had more than one port. This was in the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, the Wii Virtual Console, and the Wii U Virtual Console. So you can still play this today. In fact, it's on the North American, so yeah, if you can get it, I recommend it. It's a really fun game. Though the credits are a bit fast, all things considered. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night, take care, and I'll see you guys when it's time to get to that one. See you guys then.